Race winner, Shane Shaky Burn. To second place, Josh Brooks. And in third place, James Ellison. Let's start with the GB Motor rider. James, summarise the race for us, if you would.
Bit of a shock, to be honest. I wasn't that quick in qualifying, so yeah, it was nice to get up and run with the front guys. These two have had a little bit, well, quite a bit over everybody all weekend. So, and we've kind of been chasing them on softer rubber, to be honest. And then I tried the harder rubber in warm-up. I didn't really like it, but we had to use it because of the temperature drop. And because it hadn't quite got up to temperature for the race to run the softer tyre that we've been used to all weekend, we ran with the one. And it was a bit of a gamble, to be honest. But I actually picked up a couple of things following these guys on lap one, where I was losing out. You know, I hadn't followed anyone all weekend. There was a couple of things that I hadn't been doing right. So it made us get the best out of the SC1, and it worked really well, to be honest with you, right to the end. I'd say the last 5 laps just really struggling onto the back straight, losing a lot of grip. And that was my weakest point anyway, so it kind of just exaggerated the problem. And Josh I could see he was chasing Shaky down, and I just couldn't stay with him. And then he made that mistake, and unfortunately I couldn't capitalise. I don't know if anyone saw me run into the grass, and if I was right with him, that would have been a perfect opportunity to come through, but I was too far back. On the second to last lap, my rear brake master cylinder popped, and it was leaking fluid out. Rear brake wasn't working at all, and I carried on for that last lap because it was just kind of trickling out, and then pulled over onto the grass just in case it was leaking out anywhere else. But yeah, unfortunately, it just kind of unsettled me a little bit, but I don't know if I'd have had an answer for him, you know, if he never made that mistake. So we've learnt from it, and hopefully we'll come back stronger in the next one.
Any changes for the next race?
Going to fix the rear brake, and to be honest, if it gets up to temperature, I'll probably go back with a 0. I feel a lot more comfortable on that. The SC0, the softer Pirelli option for the rear. So other than that, no, I think that's probably about it. We made a small change between warm-up and the race, and that worked, so that's enough. You know, it was just half a turn of preload, and it seemed to work just fine. So yeah, I think the bike's the best it's going to be. I just need to get the best out of it.
It didn't seem like it was better, but it didn't drop off. The bike maintained good speed right through the race, but I feel like I lost my race when James came past. You know, to start the race with a pace car isn't ideal, but you know, we all got away cleanly after that. It was a bit tricky on the section of the track where they had to put the cement dust down with oil, but we still managed to do quite good lap times, even taking alternative lines to keep off the dust. So I was surprised to see, you know, good lap times all the way through the race, and even with those conditions. And then, but as I say, once Shane got the gap when I got passed by James, that was really the race over. I managed to get back past James and pull the gap, but I wasn't able to you know, catch up to Shane or pass him, so I had to settle for second. I pushed as hard as I could though all the way to the end, just hoping maybe he would make a mistake, but in the end it was me who made the mistake, and I went off onto the grass, and lucky to stay on and take second, really.
We heard about James making changes for race 2. You indicated to me that you need to try and do something about the first half of the race, be stronger there in race 2.
I think that's more down to me, not so much the bike. I think the bike's working okay. I just need to, you know, not be more aggressive, but definitely use the advantage of a fresh tyre more at the start. You know, you kind of in two minds. You don't want to push too hard at the start because you might fall, and then you think, oh, I had that whole race to work it out, and I've blown it in the first 2 laps or something. So you're always on this juggle of whether to go a bit harder at the start or just wait and see if you can make a better race at the end. So I think, you know, judging by that race, I need to push a little bit harder at the start and stay with Shane.
Congratulations though, Josh, on yet another podium and the credits that go with it. Let's give it up for Will. Shaky, you always make it look so easy. I know it isn't. I know how physical it is and how hard you're working, but just summarise that race for us.
It was kind of difficult, to be honest, because I got a good start and I wanted to be in the front. But I tried really, really hard for the first 4 or 5 laps to just not use my rear tyre at all. You know, it's like Josh said, you know, there's a point and you think, right, do I try and brake straight away and go for it and you know, A, risk falling down, but B, risk using too much tyre, or, you know, do I try and maintain a lap time and not use too much tyre? And I went for that option, and initially it looked like it worked, but then the guys caught me up again, so I went for about 4 or 5 faster laps, and that got the gap up. But then I settled it again into a comfortable rhythm where I knew I'd have some tyre left at the end of the race if I needed it. And towards the end of the race there, the guys started to catch me up again, and I thought, every time I come around the last corner, I was looking at the big screen on the side there to see how close they were. And last lap, to start the last lap, I looked, I thought, oh, flipping hell, time to go again. So I got my head down, and that last lap of mine was like a tenth or so off of my best lap from the race, and managed to hold on for the win. But just like to say, there's a sticker on my helmet right now and a sticker on my bike for two special guys that we lost, just recently. So Simon and Carl, I'd like to dedicate that race to them.
That's awesome, Shaky. Just briefly, changes for race 2, or are you quite happy?
I think much the same as James, really. I mean, it completely depends on the track temperature. The bike's working fantastic, and really, really happy, really, really comfortable, and I could do with being able to maintain a slightly faster lap time without trying quite so hard. But if these wins were easy, they'd be on the back of Frosty's boxes, wouldn't they? So, we'll push as hard as we can. We'll see what the track temperature does, and make a tyre choice from there. And hopefully we'll be strong again.